A last minute penalty from McCallister means that Brighton have beaten United 1-0 and they have gotten revenge, I guess, from the FA Cup tie. Devastated. Devastated. The last kick of the game. The last kick of the game. And Brighton win 1-0. The penalty. Listen, Luke Shaw, I don't know what this guy was doing. It seemed, I don't know if he was trying to wave at a fan or something, but wait until the final whistle, bro. Like, what are you doing? Why? Listen, there's so much to get into. There's so much I want to talk about, guys. There's so much to talk about. Like I said, do you know what? Luke Shaw and United defended well today. Brighton didn't really create a clear-cut chance. And yes, they did play well and they had moments and they kept the ball much better than we did. And we're going to go into it, guys. We're going to talk about it. But United defended well and Luke Shaw, until that moment, had a decent game. United themselves missed opportunities, especially in the first half. Anthony Martial and Rashford, all three of them missed really, well, decent chances, to be honest, to score. We're going to have to talk about it, guys. We need a striker in the summer. Liverpool are chasing us. I think we are 4 or 5 points clear or something, and we do have a game in hand, but we have to remain focused. We can't lose focus. We can't be distracted. We have to start winning these games. But the fashion, the way that we lost, the last minute, it was just, there's so much to talk about, guys. We're going to have a conversation. If you're not... As usual, before we get into it, smash the like, turn on the notifications, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe below. It's a brand new channel where we just have a post-match analysis, a post-match conversation, a debrief, as I like to say, about the game, where we talk about the lineup, talk about what went wrong, what went right, how the game unfolded, and let's have a conversation, you know? Something different that's out there. So yeah, hope you guys are having a good day, having a good week. Let's go straight into it, guys. Let's just go. It wasn't the greatest game from a neutral. From a neutral, it might have been a decent game. From my perspective, United just didn't do enough, didn't have enough off the ball, and Brighton played some decent stuff. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. First of all, as we usually do, let's have a quick mention or quick run through the lineup. I like the lineup. You know, I like the back four. Varane and Martinez are injured, so I don't really think we have much of a choice in terms of the centre-back pairing. I'll say it again, like I do in all the videos. It's very interesting that Maguire seems to me like he's now 5th choice centre-back. He has to go in the summer. Dalot at left-back. I like that decision. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right-back. That's fine. I don't think, like I said, we have much choice and much flexibility there. It's in the midfield for me, which was quite interesting. And I have been saying this to you guys on my channel a lot. I like Eriksen, I really do. But recently, and especially since he's come back, but even before he got injured, he's been slightly off the pace. I don't know if the pace of the Premier League or the season was getting to him before he got injured. But even now he's come back, he's just a bit off the pace. And he's one of the reasons I think we haven't been playing that well. Not because he's not technically good enough, but because he's just passing the ball a second too slow. Or he's being closed down a bit too easily. Or he's spotting the pass a bit too, just a split second too slowly. He's been just that sort of player. And I've been saying that we might need Fred's legs. Why have not we been starting Fred in more games? And is it because Fred's leaving? I don't know. I'm just hypothesizing. But yeah, I was happy to see Fred in the midfield with Casemiro, and I think we needed it. After seeing Brighton play us in the FA Cup, I know we needed legs, we needed runners, and we needed the intensity. So I think that's the reason why Fred played. And we're going to talk more about that later on in the video. So Casemiro, Fred, Bruno, and you know what? I was really looking forward to see the front three of Rashford, Martial, and Antony. We've seen Rashford and Martial play together before, of course, and I think that front three, you could argue, some people could say as Sancho, but you can argue that's probably our best front three at this moment of time. So I was looking forward to see how the front three operated. However, as we will talk about, as we will discuss, that front three didn't really get time or the opportunity to string passes together, to gel, or to really be effective. And you can argue they were really ineffective, but it's funny, the first minute of the game, Antony should have scored. Antony should have scored. And this is what we talk about when we say, listen, football is such a game of, it's so circumstantial. A moment will just change a match forever. A match that was going one way will just go the other way forever. We know that about football. That's why it's beautiful, and that one goal would have just settled us down. We know that United, once we go ahead, we don't really lose too many games. We never. And I just wish we scored that moment, that first minute when we won the ball really high up. Bruno's pass through to Antony, and Antony just snatched at it and just went past the post. But the first thing I noticed within the first few minutes was United were pressing really, really, really high up. And they were pressing when Brighton had the ball, when Brighton's goalkeeper had the ball. And that's something that they weren't really doing when we faced Brighton in the FA Cup. So whenever the goalkeeper had the ball, Martial, Antony, Rashford, they squeezed up, they all marked their man very closely. We weren't really doing it, and I haven't really been seen us do that the last few games. So I think that was sorry guys. That was quite a change, I think. Quite refreshing to see a different approach. Quite refreshing to see that squeeze happen. Matoma had a chance within the first few minutes as well. At De Gea, Lindelof's really sloppy pass to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Matoma had a chance that De Gea saved it straight at De Gea. But yeah, I mean, they didn't create that much. Brighton kept the ball really well. Like I said, one thing I was impressed with in terms of Brighton was that, yes, United closed them down really well. However, when they did eventually evade our press, they held the ball really well, and their midfield were able to just find different patterns and find different shapes and move into different positions and be comfortable to pass the ball back to their defenders and receive it again in tight spaces. So the way they moved it was just really, really good. But even though, like I said, they had the ball, United, within the first 20, 25 minutes, we were really dangerous on the break. There were opportunities for United on the break if we just were just a bit more tidy on the ball, just a bit more cohesive in the way that we played. There were opportunities there. And for me, I think if the one thing that United just needed to do in this game, and not just in this game, within the first 25 minutes, but just in general, the one thing United need to do is learn to just rotate the ball. Like, because we play with Bruno as number 10, I think is a reason why, and one of the reasons, not all the reasons, we have players who want to play on a counter-attack. We have players who are just direct. We have players who don't want to rotate the ball. We have players who just want to get the ball and take their man on. And that means we're going to lose the ball. And we know that Bruno, for instance, doesn't always retain possession that well, because he always wants to go for the killer pass, and that sometimes it's not on. So our inability to just keep the ball, our inability to rotate the ball today and keep the ball without forcing the attack. We don't always need to force the attack. Sometimes we just need to just rotate and just move and pass and move. We just couldn't do that today. And our players just need to learn to finish a match with 100 touches each or 50 touches. We just need to just be comfortable and familiar with the ball at our feet at all times. Just rotate it. But we're still a very transition team. Just get the ball, especially today, just get the ball and hit it. And it didn't work. We did create chances, but clearly, we didn't score. Funny thing is, like I said, even though Brighton kept the ball I think the 29th minute, 30th minute, Rashford had a chance where he went into the first, He shot at the near post. In my opinion, Rashford should have gone at the far post. But, you know. And then straight after that, Martial went through and goal. A 1-2 with Fred. Really good opportunity. And once again, Martial straight at the goalkeeper. And once again, in my opinion, he should have just gone across the goal. And that's what I'm saying. And this is... Listen, I like Rashford. I like Martial. Martial is my type of player. He's just really injury prone, and his injuries have ruined him physically. He's not as quick. He's not as mobile. He just doesn't look like the same player he was 5 years ago, clearly. He's the least of our worries. Yes, he's injury prone, and we do need another striker. I don't think we should keep Weghorst. Keep Martial, get another striker to be our main striker. And I mean, how good would it be to have someone like Martial to come on the bench? So, but today was, like, for me, evident that we need, like, if we had Harry Kane today, I reckon Harry Kane would have buried one of those chances. I really do. And I like those two players. I like Rashford and I like Martial. And I'll stick up for them because I think they're really good footballers. Martial gets a lot of hate that I do understand why, but it's a shame. It's a shame that people can have their opinions, I guess, but some of the hate that guy gets is just ridiculous. Like, sell him. Why? Because he's injured. Sell him because he's injured. That doesn't make any sense. Lots of players are injured. You don't sell them because they're injured. When he's not injured, he contributes. And if you he hasn't been injured for the last 5, 6, 7 games. So who knows? What if he doesn't get injured again, and you sell him now, and he doesn't ever get injured again? You can't just do that, you know. But yeah, like I said, despite the first half, despite Brighton keeping it really well, United still had the better of the chances. They had the better of the chances. Antony, Martial, and Rashford, I don't say should have scored, but, you know, at least whacked the keeper better, in my opinion. There were 3 decent chances to score. Fred's energy in the first half was really good. He's very hit and miss, Fred. Some of the quality was missing in his passing, as it always is. Such a frustrating player. But I think if Fred wasn't playing, especially the way he was playing in the first half, we could have conceded more opportunities because his energy was definitely noticed. He was everywhere. But like I said, still frustrating. Casemiro, he had a few misplaced passes in that first half. He didn't have the greatest game, but our defenders, our centre-backs, apart from Lindelof's mistake, you know, they had a decent first half. Aaron, you know, he had a good dance in the first half with Matoma. In the second half, he had a better dance with him, with those two. But yeah, our fullbacks were playing decently as well. So it's just a shame. It's a shame that we just couldn't score. In the second half, nothing really changed in the second half. The game kind of still followed the same pattern in the first half. So I can't really analyse anything else, to be honest. Brighton just moved the ball really well, but when it came to the final third, they just lacked the quality, and we defended well. United defended well, so we have to give ourselves credit. But in terms of the way we played, we weren't cohesive in our midfield, and we just didn't have the quality, the movement, or the composure to retain the ball. We set up for a counter-attack. We did. And we played like an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer counter-attacking team. And I'm still waiting to see that slick, let's keep the ball, let's move the ball, Dutch, let's wait until we see, let's wait until we find an opening. Let's not just always force it. But you will get that kind of football with likes of, let's be honest, let's be real, likes of Rashford, the likes of Bruno, who are very players who love to just, players who prefer, I think, transition football rather than possession-based football. In my opinion, those players prefer that. So Ten Hag just needs to, I guess, decide what he wants to do. I guess he decided today what he wanted to do. Fred and Antony came off for Sabitzer and for Sancho and Sabitzer around the 75th minute. But I think McCallister had a far range shot around the 90th minute. But the more the game went on, the more I realised that, you know what? Cool, a draw. Cool, that's calm. I can deal with a draw. Of course, I want to win. But do you know what? Brighton have good players and Brighton play really good football. And as the season's gone on, for me, United have been playing worse football. I think United peaked. We peaked against Barcelona. Barcelona was United's peak, and since then, we've slowly, in terms of the football that we're playing, done this. And now we're playing really crap football. We are. And it's sad to watch because we've seen better this season. But Brighton play some good football. They do. And it's just a shame to see that even though I didn't want a draw and I wanted to win, I would be content with a draw. We're not going to win the league. And as long as we think we get like 9 points or whatever it is out of our next 8 games, we'll secure top 4 or something along them lines. But we're just playing. I don't understand what's happened. I do understand. A large part of it is our defenders, and we don't have our first choice back four. We build a lot from Martinez and Varane. Varane, not so much, but we definitely build from Martinez stepping up from the back. And as a pair, they give us so much reassurance. They step up. They bring our whole defensive line to the halfway line. And they give us confidence and security in your back line is one of the most important things. Like, it makes you play better. It makes you play differently. It makes you play better football. And that's one thing that we haven't had for a while. And our performances have definitely dropped since those two have been injured. So that is definitely one part or one reason why United have fallen off so much, in my opinion, of late. But Luke Shaw, listen, I think he received a yellow card right before that action anyway. So he did his thing. He committed his foul. He got his yellow card. So I don't understand. Somebody needs to explain it. Like, why was his hand? What do you say? I don't know, guys, what to say to you. I don't know. But why? I don't understand why this guy did that. The thing is, Luke Shaw had a good game. I was thinking to myself, do you know what? This, and I've been saying it all season, this centre-back role, this left-sided centre-back role suits Luke Shaw because, let's be honest, this guy doesn't really want to bomb forward at left-back. He's lazy as hell. So being a centre-back suits him. And he has the technical ability to pass out from the back and, step into the midfield. And he was having a decent game. The whole back four was. Aaron Wan-Bissaka was, Matoma was trying his best, and Aaron was showing him down the outside. Kept showing him down the outside. And that was a really, really interesting battle, I guess, to witness. But the back four played decently. We held them off, but Luke, the force wasn't with Luke today. It definitely wasn't. And McCallister was always going to score. McCallister was always going to score. So yeah, 1-0. McCallister had a good game. He looks good, McCallister. He does look good. He doesn't look amazing. I'm not going to be someone who sits here and say he's oh my God, McCallister, he's amazing. He looks good. He looks nice and tidy. But yeah, there you go. We have to keep focused because if I can see that the players, because when you don't have anything to play for, I hope the players can just retain their professionalism and keep going and finish the season. Otherwise, if we're not careful, if we are not careful, it could end in, you know, in a sticky situation. Pause. But yeah, let's go, man. Let's go onwards and upwards. Next game, Sunday, I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong. My man in the match today. Weird thing is, I was probably going to give it to Luke Shaw before he gave the handball away. Aaron, from a Man United perspective, I'm not looking at Brighton players, by the way, when I'm giving man in the match. I'm going to give it to Aaron because Aaron was cheeky. The reason why I'm going to give it to Aaron, because Aaron was like, go on, Matoma. Go on, try it. Beat me down. Try to beat me down. Go on. Aaron was giving him space. He was like, go on. And he just couldn't do it. He was giving him 3-4 yards of space. And still Aaron was like, no. To be fair, Matoma still kept going for the whole 90 minutes. He just kept going and going. Usually, you know, against Sterling or against other wingers, they would get sort of demoralized after a while and they will stop trying, or they'll try something different, but Matoma just kept kept coming at him. So I give him credit. He didn't stop trying, to his credit. But yeah, I give it to Aaron. Aaron made me smile. He made me smile. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the game. How did he see it? Our forwards should have taken the opportunities that they had. We rushed a lot of the times. We don't know how to keep the ball without attacking. Like, when we have the ball, it's like, I have to attack. I have to just forward all the time. No, sometimes just, if the pass is not on, just pass it back and keep the ball. Stop giving the ball back to them. Just rotate it. That's the next step that's the next phase in our development that we need to do, you know. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think of the game. Who was your man in the match? Yeah, onwards and upwards. I'm going to upload a next video, of course, after the next game. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. I think the King's going to be crowned. So if you're into all of that, enjoy that. And if you're not, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself this weekend. Love and blessings to all. Yeah, thanks for tuning to the channel. Peace out. One.